Careful and responsible management of something entrusted to one's care is called stewardship. Watch Stewardship with SNB on RSTV.
The newly developed areas, especially in the Obiako Axis, okay, the planning has not been followed, religiously, and that is what is giving us a whole lot of concern, and that has also caused, to a very great extent, the flooding that you are seeing. But we're doing all within to make sure that
particularly the access on Aba Road, the Pamo Clinic Junction area.
Yeah,
that
persistent flooding, it comes from shell residential quarters. It empties somewhere around there, so empties somewhere around Rumubekwe, and there is this creek somewhere around there.
Intawaba Creek.
Thank you, Intawaba Creek. It's supposed to have gone in there. These waters have to have emptied that in Intawaba Creek. But
so what's causing the blockage?
Unfortunately, the lack of well, the planning is there, the implementation would have been the cause, but the implementation is also there. But
why hasn't your ministry swung into action?
We have.
What have you done?
No, we've ensured that those buildings that are causing the blockade, that are creating these impediments, we've served them notice by bringing them down, and we continue to bring them down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Honorable Commissioner, just before we take a short break, are there best practices in the world that Rivers State can adopt in terms of urbanization, town planning, and all that? Are there best practices in the world that Rivers State can adopt?
Yes, you don't need to go to the world.
Of course, the world sets a standard.
No. I tell you that.
We are told that some cities we call cities in Rivers State, in Nigeria, are sometimes referred to as slums.
Listen,
abroad.
I am talking as an authority in developmentalism, and I know what I'm talking about. And one big problem we have in this part of the world is that we always forget our environment and try to copy that is not.
No, Honorable Commissioner, don't forget the world sets a queue for others to follow.
The world sets a queue, but you are whom you are. You are braid. You copy that you think that could be okay for the existence of the braid family. And that you know that it's not okay for the existence of the braid family. Must you take it? You can take it. So far, as regards to your question, if you don't need to go to the developed world, I'm interfacing with Lagos State government, the ministry.
Okay.
Lagos State government. I've taken a thorough study with Uyo. That's another small city that is fantastic.
What about Calabar?
I'm coming.
And Abuja?
I'm coming. And
because they are judged as one of the most best planned cities in Nigeria.
I'm coming.
Yes.
And I've also reached out to Calabar and Abuja. But the case study with that of Rivers State could only be linked to that of Lagos. Comparatively speaking, I try to what is Calabar? Calabar is not what Port Harcourt is. Not at all. Economically and otherwise, it don't have any relationship with Port Harcourt.
In terms of population?
No relationship. I looked at these cities. I've interfaced with my counterpart in these ministries.
Lagos is densely populated.
No. Lagos is the only city that you can link with that of Port Harcourt for several reasons. from the background of it, or what I usually like prefer from the historicism. When Lagos State was created in '67, that was when Port Harcourt was River State was created. The economic value of the port, the seaports, and all not the airport, the same thing that happened in Lagos State to that of Port Harcourt. The metropolitan nature of the city similar. The slum that goes on similar. I've done a lot with it. And Lagos State used to be a very dirty city.
In the past.
In the past, a very dirty city. So
safe
I've
now.
come about Lagos State being so clean and referred as one of the best cities in the sub-Saharan Africa as of today. Okay, so I felt Lagos State is the right place for me to like go in for this study, and I've done that. I've taken the cue from Lagos State government and I'm implementing it here. But the basic issue is you can't go into cleaning urban cities. You can't go ensuring that the laws, the ethos, the ethics, the practices of
what is the level of implementation that we can see now, Honorable Commissioner?
you could see the streets.
Okay.
By bringing down the structure that are blocking the waterways. By ensuring that the street is what it is. By ensuring that parks are what parks should be. By ensuring that this, and you have, there's no sentimentalism in ensuring that urbanization or the cities are what it should be that people will admire. Because you see the street woman, she will tell you she's a widow. You see the man pushing the truck, he tells you he's a widower. All sorts, but you don't need to look into this. You just plead with them and tell them, don't do this. Give them a time frame, and within that time frame, if they fail to like turn on to that, then you make sure that you enforce the laws that governs urban development, precisely your 2003 Act that governs River State urban development.
Honorable Commissioner, we'll take a quick break and then we'll come back and then continue with our conversation for development.
Thank you.
Don't go away as we take a quick break on the program. Stay with us.
Stewardship with SNB. The careful and responsible management of something entrusted to one's care is called stewardship. Watch Stewardship with SNB on RSTV. Stewardship with SNB.
If you have just joined us, you're watching the program Stewardship, and my guest is Dr. ONYA, the Honorable Commissioner for Urban and Development and, of course, Physical Planning here in River State. Honorable Commissioner, once again, let's welcome you to the program again.
Thank you.
Yes. And to participate on this program, you are advised to call the numbers 0803 3341 3360. Once again, 0803 341 3360. And for text messages, please kindly send your text messages to the number 081-725-23884. And let me quickly warn that we will not condone any caller that will display some level of immaturity or cast aspersions on any member of the studio here, either on the commissioner or the presenter. Again, we will not take calls from those who do not have anything to discuss or to contribute to this program. Thank you as your one. Honorable Commissioner, one major event on your calendar this year is to rid River State, streets of Port Harcourt, of illegal trading and all that. How effective has this been?
It's been reasonably effective, but we haven't attained the ultimate desire. I feel it should be the desire and that of His Excellency. We want to look at a situation, we're looking at a situation whereby the street traders, starting from those ladies that trade on corn, that has created a lot of problem with the debris of the corn in the drainages. The other street traders, the hawkers that defaced the city, when they are moribund out of the street. I mean, when they are no longer in the street and the act and science of street trading is moribund, is then I could like say that yes, I have done what I'm expected to do. But be that as it may, the major flashpoints, like when I came on board, had been taken care of. Okay, places like Creek Road, Slaughter, Bishop Okoye, Maitre, Umo Kuta, even a little, what do you call it? That's ONYA
ONYA,
market.
yeah, ONYA.
Up to the one heading to One, Eleme, there's a market somewhere also there.
Is it, what do they call it?
There's a market somewhere there.
Yeah.
Okay. We've done all we need to do to make sure that we reduce reasonably the level of street trading. But you see, the one thing I found out, ordinarily before I go, or we go,
Are you suggesting an alternative has been provided for these street traders?
yeah, that's what I'm going in, you know.
But they complain.
No.
On radio and TV, they complain.
That what?
That you are removing them from the streets.
Yeah.
And then they have nowhere to go to.
Yes.
Is that true?
I'm moving them from the street.
And they have nowhere to go to.
They have nowhere to go to start with. Are they supposed to be on the street? That's the question. Okay. Back to what I said. Okay.
Because I will just take a quick call and then. Hello? Oh, that was. Hello? Hello, good afternoon. This is Stewardship.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. You may say your name and then where you are calling from and make your contributions quickly.
I'm Prince by name, calling from Eneka.
Prince from Eneka, go on.
Please, I want to talk to Mr. Solomon there on the studio.
Yes?
Please, Mr. Solomon, I want you to be serious in what you are doing. This street trading is causing hold up in River State. Please.
Are you addressing Mr. Braid or you are addressing the Honorable Commissioner? I am not the Commissioner for Urban Development. You may address the Urban Development Commissioner, please. Honorable Commissioner.
Yes, please.
The issue of street trading.
Yeah.
That caller was addressing me as though I am you.
Yeah. The issue of street trading, we have to take it very seriously. And that is why I am not attaching any sentimentalism to in ensuring that Port Harcourt in particular is rid of street trading. You know, most cases, you send these people out, at times they said they attach ethnic sentiments into it. But as a scholar of Nigerian government and politics, I know in the literature of Nigerian government and politics, you as a South person, if the law, you file the law in the north and you are arrested or charged, you say, oh, I'm charged because I'm a Southerner in the north. Same thing applicable to those that are in here. But I assure everybody, if you want to live in River State, if you want to ensure that that is required of you to if you go train on the street, Urban will come against you.
That's interesting. But the places you have driven them away, they are returning back.
Yes. You know, there's
How
something
effective in this your campaign?
There's something I said about it. That from my experience from street trading, ensuring that they're out of the street, it made me remember the saying in my place that the birds met and said that since the hunter has learned to shoot without missing, they will now learn how to fly without perching. I assure the street traders, not until the mobile court we do, you know, the Attorney General was
the
like...
street traders are interested in palliative measures.
No, palliative measures, there's palliative measures on the making, okay? You know, this has been ongoing.
They are saying that you've not provided these alternatives.
No. The measures are on the making. The measures are on the making. What we've intended to do in the, or what the policy that is on the making is that those high points, those high flash points area of street trading, government is going to acquire a property somewhere there and turn it to a field market.
Okay.
Okay?
Let's just hear from
Thank
this
you.
caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Please, you may say your name and then tell us where you're calling from and make your contributions or ask your questions.
Thank you very much. Boma Kurotamne, my name's.
Boma
I'm calling from Ronnie.
Krotamne, go on. The Honorable Commissioner here is live here in the studio.
Okay, thank you very much.
Go on.
Please, to the Commissioner, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm very interested in what you have discussed now. I'm excited.
Thank you.
I stayed for that, but I came into body for something.
Thank you.
Please, we will support every effort to remove people from street trading. If this thing is something that has been bothering my heart that you are discussing today,
Thank you.
we will support you.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Honorable Commissioner.
Yes, please.
Yes. Now, over the years, River State has always insisted that companies operating in Port Harcourt, in River State, should make Port Harcourt their headquarters. Have you done EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment?
I think that question should go to the Ministry of Environment.
No, but there is a thin line between the Ministry of Environment, and of course the Sanitation Authority.
Yes, there is a thin line, but you see, I am one that believes in due process. I am one that believes within the confines of what I'm authorized to talk or authorized to work on, that I do work on. I sincerely do. When you're talking of environmental
impact assessment,
I think the Minister of Environment is in a better position.
It is not within their purview.
No, it's not. But if you're going to ask me, why is it that the headquarters of the multinationals are not in Port Harcourt? Could it be that there are no infrastructure or no provision or no physical planning for them to be here? Then I can come in. Okay? I can come in. If there are no physical planning for the multinationals to come into Port Harcourt, that they have to relocate to Lagos, then I could come in, because that's planning of the city.
But even at that, you should also carry out the environmental impact assessment to actually ascertain if these companies can situate their headquarters here.
No, there is environmental impact assessment, soil tests that could be checked up or whatever when you are going into building. If the question maybe I expect you to ask me is that the multinationals have moved their headquarters from Port Harcourt to Lagos for whatever reasons, okay?
Do you know the reasons?
Well, I'm a reverse man. They just want to.
Are you disturbed as well?
Why would I be disturbed?
So
it's killing the political economy of the state.
Why do you think they're moving?
They're moving in order to stifle the economy of River State.
Okay.
That's the simple truth. It's purely a political issue. They've seen River State as Port Harcourt, to be very precise, and River State, Nigeria, as a rising state that could be independent on its own, in comparison with that of Lagos State. We do apologies. Without apologies to those up there.
Honorable Commissioner, we'll continue with that thought.
Right,
Let's just take this caller. Hello? Yes, good afternoon. This is Stewardship, and we have live in the studio the Commissioner for Urban Development, Dr. ONYA. Sorry? Roland from Ahoda. Go on with your contributions or questions. Roland, we barely can hear you. Could you raise your voice a little bit, please? Roland, the network is not very friendly with you there. Honorable Commissioner, I've been told to take a short break again, and then we'll come back to discuss more about Port Harcourt and the planning. Let's take a short break again, and we'll come back again. Stay with us.
Stewardship with SNB. The careful and responsible management of something entrusted to one's care is called stewardship. Watch Stewardship with SNB on RSTV. Stewardship with SNB.
You're welcome back to the program, Stewardship. Honorable Commissioner, thank you for being here with us. Yes, Honorable Commissioner, what are the deliberate plans by the River State government towards making Port Harcourt a smart city? We have mega cities. We also have smart cities. Smart cities, of course, in the developed world, where trains pass underground. The world outside is moving, and we can also move alongside with it. Any plans?
Yeah, great. You see, I'm a realist, okay? And I talk based on the programs of the government as at the moment. I told you there is scale of preference. We have paucity of funds. and the River State government for them to turn Port Harcourt to a smart city, that would be a daydream for now in cognizance of what we have.
Okay.
But we are doing all we need to do within our reach, within not even 3 years, within 2 years, because 1 year was spent in legal matters. In the 2 years, has Port Harcourt been what it used to be, or has it been improved, or is it moving towards, using the language, a smart city? Those are the questions that will be pressing to me to look into, because the other ones are too seem so realistic, and it's not capturing the situation of the moment that the people of River State are yearning for. The River State people are yearning for certain things. Is the government doing those things that the River State government yearned for, or before we came on board, those things that the River State government promised, have they fulfilled it? And then we can now move into a smart city.
Honorable Commissioner, as
Yes,
the
please.
city develops,
Yes.
one expects that there will be what we call gentrification. You're an academic. Gentrification is rich people moving to local areas to develop it. But the reverse is the case here in Port Harcourt. The rich people still remain here in Port Harcourt. There are no plans to, by individuals, of course. Any plans? Why is it so?
Do you have any statistics towards that? That's not government policy. That's individual policies.
That's what I'm saying.
The individual policies are policies that I don't think I'm here for, to be very honest, Mr. Gray. I'm here on the basis of government policies. What is government doing? What are the requisites, that are on board? What is it that they have achieved? If an individual, like, for example, Dr. ONYA, I decide to own a palatial home in my home, marbled, have a massive structure, whatever there. Yeah, that's personal. It's not government policy. But I think the moment, the problem we should, to me though, I don't know, is to dwell on, is the government delivering in his policies as regards urbanization, or as regards any other policy that they could be holding on to. You promised us this, have you done that? But the situation whereby an individual with desire, like Dr. Riznola did in 2004, to go and put up a structure in over 100 acres of land, that's very personal. It's not threatening any political economy to the state government as a
But you have developed a local area.
No, it developed my local area.
Of course, yeah.
But I think for now, that is, I said, very personal.
That is the concept of gentrification.
No, gentrification aside, is gentrification among the policies of the state government as of now? No, it's not. So I'm looking at, I'm a servant of the government, okay? I'm looking at a situation whereby you ask me questions on the policies of government, either in urbanization, or in political economy, or whatever. Then we could say, okay, this is why I'm here, this is what I'm saying. But if you ask me, great, have you built any house in Bacana, or whatever? That to me, that's not the bone of contention as at the moment.
Let's take this call and then we'll continue.
Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Good afternoon. You may say your name and then tell us where you're calling from. Make your contributions or questions.
Yes. My name is George Onoha.
Calling from where, please?
Yes, and I'm calling from my street, Port Harcourt.
Okay, go on, George.
I'm particularly interested in this keeping people out of our streets, especially as it concerns Bishop Okoye, which is very close to where I live. I understand the Honorable Commissioner was there a number of times, and as he came, people actually responded because this in action with his team. But I want to say that if he goes back there now, he will find that things have become worse than they have been before he came. If you drive along the Kure Road, at the fringes where it borders on Bishop Okoye, you would think all is well. But move a further on and you find that the entire road is closed. This thing is very embarrassing, not only to us here in River State of Nigeria, to anybody from across the world who visits this spot. You think that madmen live here or that this is a place where there are lawlessness in the order of the day. I don't like it. This is not our culture in River State.
Thank you so much, George.
And most of people doing this things are Nigerians, of course, but most of them are really from River State. I'm not discriminating, but I'm saying that the right thing ought to be done. How can we live with this kind of nuisance from day to day? Strange. when the market is just there where they should have been. Even the situation of the market does not help it. I don't know whether it is within your portfolio to do so, but there is need to move in the stock market.
Mr.
Look
George,
at it, and you find that some places are empty while people are right there on the road.
Thank you.
As I'm talking with you, go there now, you will see them.
Thank you so much. The Honorable Commissioner will address it. Thank you. We appreciate
I
it.
want to say a little more, if you allow me.
No. But let's give a chance to other people. Thank you so much, Mr. George. Honorable Commissioner, you may please address it.
Yeah, Judge Onoha, thank you. But I want to disagree with you colossally that it has been worse than what it used to be. I recall vividly well as at the time I was appointed commissioner, that's sometime March this year. Bishop Okoye was impassable. There's no way out. Even the human traffic was something else, But however, as of today, that's not the issue. There are two troopers there permanently, at this other side, the beginning and the other end. Yes, agreed that it hasn't. Not like that initial period, they still coming because I have to interface with the Port Harcourt City mayor. We talked on the way out to see other mechanisms to make sure that Bishop Okoye is permanently cleaned up. But the other side, what I expected you, George, to tell me is that after working hours, official hours, that traders come back to Bishop Okoye. That I will agree with you. But not to say that Bishop Okoye is even worse than what it used to be. That is a fallacy of all time. We do regard and respect. And even now that you're talking to me, I passed through Bishop Okoye before coming in here. We have two troopers of octopus, one at the beginning and one at the other edge. They try to control the traffic there. We will still put in our best. Yes, we haven't really achieved what we need to achieve. We still put in our best, but we should be realistic enough so that we help the policy makers on how to go about it. Positing that it's worse than what it used to be. Please, I totally disagree with Judge Ono. But we are doing the best. If you're telling me that they trade after the official hour, I will accept that. If you're telling me that you can also, if you live around there, you know that they have what is called bush market. Very early in the morning, as early as 4 o'clock, they're on the roads. And at about 7, they know that the official government because the officials will be coming out, they leave the street. And after closing of work, they come back again. If you say that, I will accept, but not that it has turned to what it is. It's a fact that the markets are empty, but like I keep saying, the street trading, you could only refer it to what is tenable in the days of the fiefdom, where you see the feudal lords, share the lands and get the rewards from the serfs.
You're sounding very academic. Just say it in the language that the people will understand.
Okay, the issue, what I'm saying is that the street trading, the people in the streets, that street trading are perpetuated by the indigenes, the people that say that they own that place, perpetuated by the court boys. These are the two major set of people that encourage street trading. They share the streets within themselves from social meter to social meter. You pay me 200 naira a day. 200 naira a social period, and you will trade there, and nobody will encroach onto that. That portion that is assigned to George, for example, to Braid, for example, or the one assigned to Reason, for example, I make sure I control that territory. Nobody is going to come in there. I bring in whomever I want to bring in there and collect whatever tariff I want to collect from the person and do whatever that I deemed appropriate. For my own benefit in that area. These are the people that have done this. And like as I was saying,
It is illegality.
As I was saying, it's unfortunate that we lost the Attorney General. One of the measures that would have been in place by now, if not for that, is the mobile court. Because, I've gone in there, and I don't just going to send people out of the streets without conducting a research. I followed up a research, followed up with intelligent reports, and that is why we've been this successful in what we're doing. And the measure, the findings, is that we should have a mobile court where the boys, the indigenous boys, or the court boys that allocate these streets to themselves, if they are caught, they will be jailed. Tried there and jailed. Those that patronize them, they be tried and be jailed. Those that buy from the traders that patronize them, they be tried and be jailed. Yes, that was the measure that was to take place before the Honorable Attorney General will do, his soul rest in peace, passed on. But, we will continue because it's continuation. The people that elected this government, they are not mobocrats. They are Democrats. And as such, we don't expect the acts and sciences of democracy to be exhibited in the city of Port Harcourt and in River State in general.
Thank you, Honorable Commissioner. We'll just take a text message from Pastor Henry. It reads this way: Honorable Commissioner, I suggest you place a ban on these abokis pushing trucks and dumping refuse everywhere on the roads. I also wish to bring to your notice that the beautiful barricade built along Slaughter roads are being deliberately damaged by the same aboki before.
Yeah,
What's your comment?
No, he's right. He's right. I was in Slaughter last week. They damaged those things when I was attacked in Slaughter. Okay. You know, I was attacked in Slaughter twice. They damaged it, and the government put it back in place. And there was a peripheral. I'm a realist. There was a peripheral damage again on it, and went in there, and sanity gradually returning. But the issue is this: these men keep coming to the street to trade, and most of them that trades on the street. I don't want to sound putting ethnicity into context, but most of them have our relations, our brothers from the eastern part of the country. Okay, then the abokis is talking of, yes, they move about with fruits on the roads, and I tried to. They took. There was an understanding between the Hausa community in Slaughter and the state government to ensure that the streets of Slaughter should be what it should be. They shouldn't use it for trading. And I also be here, frankly speaking, they have fairly and reasonably complied with that policy. But the ones that just came in newly now are our brothers, sisters from the eastern part of the country. And what they do is that they come into Port Harcourt early in the morning with the first train. They trade till about 6, they go back. Another set, as this set is going back, another set is coming in. So the major issue we have there is, our brothers from the core eastern estate, they are the one creating the problem is making reference to as of now. But as per the houses, yes, fairly speaking, they do this on the, what they call it, the truck. They put the truck around the road with this thing. But it's not, we try to see what we do about it to ensure that at the end of the day, something more to it should be done. Something more to it should be done.
Yes, Honorable Commissioner, sanitation in a developing economy is part of urbanization.
Yes.
What is the synergy between your ministry, the Ministry of Environment, and that of the Sanitation Authority?
Yeah, and I just give a referral. I use my trade as a case study. Like when we went in there, we found out that my trade market was my trade park was turned into a market. Okay, and when we went in for the operation, with due respect, the police gave us enough cooperation to make sure that we cleared all the place. We synergized with the Ministry of Environment, the agencies, the environment. They came in, they brought in their truck to make sure that these things are clear. And at any given time, we call on them when we are clearing a certain place. They always respond. So we work in reasonably well with them.
Honorable Commissioner, there's a text here from an unknown caller. The name is not stated. They said, Honorable Commissioner, why is it that from Eleme Junction to Oyigbo, there is disaster? Tankers and containers are falling everywhere. People are suffocating. Please, if you can, extend your good hands to that area.
Yes,
it's not very clear, but that's the best I can read of this text.
The chairman of Oyigbo local government, we're talking. Yes, he's very right. Very right. From Eleme to Oyigbo. Okay, heading towards Oyigbo. I haven't gone in there. Fairly speaking, they told me that trucks or drivers, that what they're saying, a lot of heavy traffic, tankers are falling and all whatnot. We're going to control it. I think next week, the arrangement of us visiting that as is in next week. So they'll be going towards that area. As at last week, this week, they've been between Oyimele to Eleme Junction. Okay, but as from next week, from the program on itinerary, I think they will take off from there to Oyibo, and we make sure that those trailers that are on the road, we call Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers to make sure that they clear off. And they've also been encouraging. One good thing is this, I'll be very honest. We have maximum cooperation from all the other agencies, you know, that are involved in the act of keeping Port Harcourt clean. That's to tell you that, you know, people have been yearning to ensure that Port Harcourt returns to what it is known for. And people are also yearning, or are in agreement with us, that the streets of Port Harcourt should be cleared up. They are totally queuing up to the policy of government to ensure that the streets of Port Harcourt are cleared up.
What do we expect of your ministry in the days to come?
What is expected of Ministry of Urban Development in the days to come? Well, I will sound a little bit using your language here academic, but not that are too academic. Niccolo Machiavelli, in his classical work,
Machiavelli.
Yes, The Prince, he said the end justifies
the means.
The end of his ONYA tenure will justify the means. How far we go. But so far, in holistically, we will do our best as we are doing it. We will ensure that the policy of ensuring that Port Harcourt is clean, the streets are clean, will be followed up. We follow it up without sentimentalism. We follow it up in the basis that we are following it up. And for your information, both my compliance team members, if they go foul to the law, are arrested. For the 8 of them have been arrested, those working with me. In the process of ensuring that you go out to do your job and you compromise one way or the other, you picked up and you take it straight to the police and you take it to the courts.
We'll take this call and then continue with our discussion. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. May we know your name, where you are calling from?
I've just spoken with you, George from my trade.
Yes, please.
George, go on.
Now, in the area of street being clean, I want to say that a lot has to be done on Ikore Road. Because if you go to my trade, my trade, you will find that the manholes that were sealed with some iron work, those iron work, those holes are now open. They vandalize the things protecting those holes. And it is possible for a little child to fall into one of those holes when there is rain. Something has to be done there. I'm not saying that you are not doing your best, but a lot more has to be done to keep that equilibrium clean. And if you move on to my work, you will find that whenever there is rain, the place is flooded. Continuously flooded once there is rain. Why is it that this has continued to be so for a long time? Is there nothing you people can do to ensure that water flows?
Thank you, George.
George, I want you to know one thing. If you, as a good citizen of Rivers State, an indigene of my trade, could also let it known to your community people that whenever they see people vandalizing government property, they should call the authorities so that that need to be done will be done in terms of those doing that. If you do that, you see, it will help us a lot. We can't be everywhere. There's no way we could be everywhere. But I also expect you, where I have headache in my trade, there as he's talking, is River State University roundabout up to my trade park. By the left, there are some people that they are so stiff-necked. I have burned their goods, I have seized their goods, you know, and they keep coming out. Then they should tell those ladies that are selling corn also that the debris that goes in there, help me out, George, please. You have community boys. Let them clear the place and ensure that they don't do this thing.
George wants to be a member of that community.
That will help us a lot. But basically, thanks for the information. Government will look into it and see a way out of how to synergize with the indigenes to ensure that if one has gone contrary to this, that government has said that they shouldn't do, those that have been found of taking out the manifold that are in there, like you said, yes, I've noticed 1 or 2 occasions like that. If they're apprehended, they will face the law, and government will also replace that. Thank you. Thank you,
Commissioner, time is not our friend.
Thank you.
Before you take your leave,
yes, sir.
What is your message to Rivers people as it relates to urbanization and, of course, fiscal planning?
Urbanization and physical planning, as we've been living, it's going to be a continuous process because we haven't done what we need to do and we have not concluded our mission statement. Okay? And I plead with all of them for us to complete our mission statement. Theoretically speaking, they should vote back Dr. Barrister Ezebunwanwike, the governor of Rivers State, so that the fantastic, ideologies we've set out, those plans we've set out to ensure that Rivers State return to what it is and turn out using your language. I'm not saying that though, that is going to be a smart city. Point of correction. I will tell people what I know that is possible.
Okay, you can say mega city.
Well, mega city. We make sure that Rivers State is clean and turn out to be what it is. They should bring back the governor. When they vote back the governor, then the good work we're doing, we continue to do it. We will even improve more on it. And I'm talking this statistically. Okay? We will improve more.
That's just before you leave, what are the chances of Governor Wike winning in 2019? Just before you leave.
Yes. It has tremendous chances. Why? Because I don't want to go academic again before you start going academic. Yes, I will still do.
Okay, go ahead.
Nicky Namen is the man that propagated statistical concepts of political economy. And what does he say about? The point is this. The politician comes to tell you what he's going to do. Has the politician done what is expected of him to do? And if he has done what is expected of him to do, then vote him back! So go back to new mission of Barrister Ezebunwanwike when he came in. The policies he said he was going to implement. Has he implemented them? Has he done them? If he has done them, then bring him back.
Thank you so much. We have heard from the Honorable Commissioner for Urban Development and Fiscal Planning, Dr. ONYA. He's sounding very academic and of course practical, even though he says he's a realist. We have heard from him as an academic and lecturer, Niccolo Machiavelli, Nicky Nambeni, is that correct? And all the philosophies and ideologies that he has propounded here. We want to thank you so much for being a part of Stewardship. We believe that whenever we call upon you, you will come again.
Thank you.
That's the size of our package. Well, thank you so much for being a part of it. For all of us who have contributed here in the studio and for callers from outside, we want to thank you so much for participating in this program. My name is Solomon Nelson Braid.